was the song, one of my favorite songs.
And that was sort of playing. And at some point in time, obviously, a drug dealer is going to look at you and turn around and say,
Sure.
"We need to go get more drugs." And I was prepared. I had the whole stereo stacked with as much music as I like, and I already ordered a couple drinks, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, so let's go. I got to go to North Philly to get some more cocaine." And I said, "Okay, why don't we talk about that in a minute?" And I just went back to whatever I was talking to about something. Perhaps it was Gladstone or Disraeli and general jibber jabber.
It was one of the two, though.
Just to kill some time. And then he eventually he's back. He's a friend of mine. I care very much for him at that time. He's like, "Still got to get the drugs." And I was like, "All right, I'll make a deal with you. If we buy a chicken, we take it up to the drug dealer's place and attempt to exchange the chicken for drugs. I'll go with you." And
that was your deal.
That was my
because you thought it would be absurd. You thought it would be absurd, and you thought there's no way this will happen.
Nobody's going to concur with it. And he
called
was
your
like,
bluff.
"Okay, that's it. Fine."
He called your bluff.
Wow.
Damn it. But there was the chicken around the corner, and I had been thinking about it for about 24 hours, so...
what was the chicken doing around the corner?
Well, there's a poultry store.
Oh, the poultry store. Oh, okay, right.
So,
okay.
Went over there. You can kill so much time. Is all I'm thinking. And so went into the store, and chicken. One of the chickens kind of bit my finger. I was like, "That's it.
That's
That's my baby. That's it. Give me this. And
I saw Avatar. Chicken and I have been mated. And bonded.
Eventually,
This is a sign. It's a sign.
Eventually, paid out the cash. Gave me the chicken.
It was alive, or they killed it?
Oh no, it was alive. And he was about to actually take an axe to the chicken snacks.
Herein lays the humor of this.
Right.
This is a live chicken we're talking about.
Yes,
He was about to go. He was like, no, hold on, I want my baby.
We want it alive.
Give me my baby. And the guy's like, "Really? You want it alive?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah. Give it to him. Give me it in a burlap sack, no less." And walked out. Okay, here we go.
She had a chicken in a bag, basically.
Yeah, the chicken was tied up, and I walked outside, and JC, that was his name, that was the drug dealer's name, was standing outside. It was like, "Okay, are we ready to go?" And I was like, yeah. But there's no way my baby is gonna live in a burlap sack. So I hold the chicken out, holding the chicken under my arm. It's like, "Well, let's go. Let's flag down a cab." And I can't believe that a cab driver would have picked me up in the middle of the afternoon with a chicken under my arm. And he just did. He was just going "Okay, yeah."
It wasn't even unusual to him, right?
That's fine. That's fine.
Wait, is this a cab driver from the third world? Or
he was West. I think he was from Cameroon.
Yeah, so he had no problem with chicken, basically.
Yeah, it's like,
That's what people do.
More the chicken, the sweeter the juice.
When you need chicken, you bring home your live chicken.
Somebody needs to get their chicken from point A to point B. That's what cabs are for.
Pretty much all my gambles had failed. Anyway, got in the back of the car, and the chicken was sort of tied up like this.
Oh, the legs were tied together.
Tied up. It was ready for the slaughter. And so I just, JC got in on the other side of the car. I got in on this side of the car. Threw the chicken in the middle. There's no way my baby's gonna be tied up like this.
This is your thinking, not my baby.
This is my baby.
It's not just his thinking.
This is his doing. Right. It's actually his doing. Right.
So it's like, let's do it. Let's go over and undo. Now the chicken's got a different thinking about the world than I do. Apparently, just as soon as it realizes that its legs are free, jumps up.
It freaks out.
Just runs straight under the cab driver's chair, and starts pecking at the back of his legs. And I'm obviously somewhat perplexed about what to do. And I turn around and I look at JC. There's green shit all over him, all over the back of the car. Green
from the chicken
crap.
Oh.
It's exploding all over.
Yeah, it's just all over the place.
Really?
Yeah, that's stinky.
So it actually, it shot and avoided you and just hit him basically. So like,
Yeah.
you dealt with the chicken and he dealt with the
He was
crap.
letting the thing loose.
Right.
The
So
other
the chicken went the other way. Yeah, the crap went the other way basically.
So I'm a calm-minded kind of person. Like, well, what are we gonna do here? It's like, do you have any napkins? It's like, what happened? What happened, man? What happened? It's like nothing at all. Just napkins. He like shoves the napkins back at me, and I just start like wiping up the place. And at some point, he realizes that perhaps things aren't going quite the way he'd expected the cab ride to go. And he just stops the cab. This is North Philadelphia somewhere, and he's like, "That's it. Get out of the cab."
Oh, he got angry. All right.
Yeah, and I certainly felt bad.
You sympathized with him. Yeah.
But
Davey was doing this.
my difficulty was actually getting the chicken from outside
under the car,
Okay, I got him. Okay, JC, pay the man. And JC's like, I don't have any money. That's why I'm up here to buy drugs. It's sort of like paid him somehow with a chicken upside down. Like I was like, yeah, okay. Well, and what's tip? $2. Bye. $2. What's mathematics at that point in time? And then we was just sort of so back the chicken's sort of back under my arm and walk down the street.
Back in baby's arms.
Yeah, back in babies. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do at this point. I'm starting to realize I don't think I want this chicken that much anymore. I think, and
You still have the string?
What's that?
Do you still have the string
No.
tied
That-
up?
Take it back. Just take it
No,
back.
but you still have the bag though, right? You still have the sack.
No, he doesn't.
Sack's lost.
Oh, you lost the
God
sack.
knows what happened to the sack. But yeah, so you know, so yeah. So I was walking down the street, and I was like, I saw some guy that's drinking 40s on the porch there. This this guy about 50 years old drinking a Hurricane with his wife, and they're sitting there. And it's like, hey, sir, do you mind? You don't have any string, do you? And his wife actually, they were really nice, man. His wife ran back inside. Like, maybe we do. Ran back into the house.
We got some string.
Yeah, so they came out with.
What do you need string? We got
Chicken
string.
string?
Right.
Let's see what we can do.
Do you want yarn, twine, butcher
Well,
string?
let's see what they
Like,
come
would
out
you
with.
like? Yeah.
Let's see what they come out with.
Shoelaces.
Eagle string?
Came out with a shoelace.
Shoelace.
But it was nice. It was a nice high top.
nice-
it was one of those
a
long
nice-
things.
Oh, the long
You
high
remember?
top shoelaces.
Yeah. Oh, it was
Right.
fantastic.
It's
Oh,
50
it must have
Beautiful
been from like
shoelace.
some senators from the 80s or something like that.
Right.
They gave that to me, and I was so happy. I tied the
Strangle the chicken.
noose around the chicken, and but it's one of my favorite moments in my life. I was like, okay, we got everybody locked up. Everybody's okay. Blop, just dropped the chicken on the floor. Oh, and they're so
With
cute.
a string tied
They're
around it.
So yeah, with
Yeah.
the shoelace.
Yeah.
Just they're so adorable. These chickens, just like dropped on the ground like, and then went back to business. And so I'm walking down the street in North Philadelphia with a chicken on
On a leash.
Shoelace.
Yeah, right.
essentially. And so JC was like, okay, we're going over here. We got to buy drugs. Damn it. And
He's buying it or selling it?
He's buying.
he's buying it to sell. Yeah, right.
It's retail.
Okay.
He's a middleman.
Wholesale guy.
He's a middleman. Yeah.
At any rate, it was a difficult walking down the street. Also, don't ever forget the fact that I don't want this chicken. I really at this point I'm just kind of like, I don't want the chicken. I don't want the friend.
Right.
Yeah, but I have to reason
Now
ahead.
we know where the chicken came from.
So we ran across these kids on the street, and they're like, "Hey man, is that a real chicken?" I was like, "I don't think it's fake." Right. But I was like, "Well, and so immediately then I'm kind of like, do you want the chicken?" And they're like, "Well, I don't know." I was like, "Well, I'll tell you what. I'll be back here in 30 minutes. If you want the chicken, I'll be here to give it to you." And I just started laughing because I just imagined they're going to show back up at their parents' place with a chicken, and their parents are going to be completely furious. Like, what the hell what are we going to do with a chicken? Anyway, so we finally made it down to the drug den. or whatever the hell it was, and it was
The crack house, the local crack
there was
house.
a guy.
Yeah.
you know, crack house. It was sort of like a curvature of the road, and we're walking south. The curvature of the road does sort of what would you say that?
A C shape, like an arc.
An elbow.
Yeah, an elbow. Okay.
And we turned around that corner, and the drug dealer is standing there with his, tiny little dog, Chihuahua or something like that. Chihuahua looks at the chicken. Chicken looks at the Chihuahua. Chihuahua runs straight back in the house. And the drug dealer just looks at JC like, JC, you are a crazy person. And just walked up with a chicken there, and they had a nice operation actually. There's a whole desk. It was out of the movies or something like that. They were just selling drugs. They had a desk. You could tell that these people were professionals because they had a desk.
They wore ties.
So, yeah, they sat behind the desk when people were gonna show up and
Deli number.
Serving.
Number 2. Wearing green visor.
I showed up there with a chicken, and I was kind of like, well, what would you do? What would you do with a chicken at this point in time? There's only so many choices. He sort of looking at me, and he's like, okay, I'm going inside. And I was like, so I said, I turned over to JC. I was like, hey, you go in and take care of this drug stuff, and I'll take care of the chicken. And but then I realized I was going to get lonely. So I asked. I was kind of yelling at the guy as he was walking in the door. It's like, should I just tie my chicken up out here?
Like a bicycle.
Yeah, like a dog. Yeah.
There's a chicken rack just down the side of the building. You can tie the
Dates from the 1800s.
Exactly. Right. The old chicken tie. Yeah. Right.
This drug dealer had the unmitigated gall to look back at me like I was the idiot. So I just, I was like, well, I guess not. And I just, dropped the leash on the floor.
Inside. This is inside the house.
No, this is outside the house. And then I go in, and they had their whole, desk operation, and having a good time in there. And I got in there, and I was just sort of watching JC, talk, count his money out, and the chicken goes back to being the chicken that it originally is. It's early in the morning. Just having a blast, like pick. And the guy looked at me and he was just like, "Yo, man, that ain't cool. Your chicken can't be doing that." What do you want me to do?
It's a chicken.
It's a chicken.
Right. That's what they do. That's what they do. Yeah.
It's like, all right, you stay here, man, and I'll go take care of the chicken problem. And by the time I'd gotten outside, the chicken had sort of like run into the neighbor's yard, and was having a blast, back there, just eating stuff. And I was like, well, the drug dealers are going. This might be a problem.
Wasn't the chicken tied up?
Yeah, he had this leash.
Yeah, he let it go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just let it go in the yard.
I let it go. Anyway, so then I had to jump the fence, and it's the old chicken chasing story.
Right.
From Rocky. Like from Rocky.
I don't
Kind of like more like from Benny Hill.
Training scene
Where he chases the chicken?
Rocky Balboa
Has to catch a chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, where the trainer throws a chicken in they're like in a fenced in area, like a
Like a
Yard.
boxing
Yeah.
ring.
Look at
not
a
a
yard.
boxing ring. It's like they're outdoors, of course, because Rocky couldn't afford a boxing ring to train in. And the chicken was let loose, and the training was to try to catch the chicken. Chickens are
Improve
very fast.
reflexes and right.
It's surprisingly difficult.
You don't appreciate the movie.
It's actually not surprising at all.
You don't
It's actually,
appreciate the
there's a
movie.
lot of
So you've tried to catch a chicken.
Right?
there's a lot of cultural
That's
lore
a
about how hard it is to
warned
catch a chicken.
you.
Everybody's warned you that it's difficult. But I got him back by some kind of fir tree, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get him this time. And then did the whole leap. Chicken, of course, ran straight past me, and I had to jump the fence again, and then back around the elbow corner, and there's this old woman kind of like
On a walker.
pushing, in her walker, and the chicken looked at her, was disapproved apparently, and like, and like ran straight back past me, and I almost got him this time because I stomped on the leash, and I got his head caught in it, and somehow he squirted out, and he ran back around the corner. As I was, running back around the corner, this huge thug was, standing outside his house because he heard there was a chicken outside, and he was like, yo, Ben. Is that your chicken? And I'm like, I'm running, sort of running by, like, no.
It's not my chicken.
It's just a chicken, It's chickens all over the place.
It's a feral chicken, right? Yeah, it's one of those North Philly chickens.
Free range.
It's with the next like 10 seconds. Look at
Cage-free in my family.
crack-free chicken.
This is how you get your chicken?
Spent the next 10 seconds like looking over my shoulder, kind of like, no, not my chicken.
Not my chicken.
Looking behind, and this is sort of important. There's this sort of hedgerow, odd, in that part of town. There's a sort of hedgerow, and the chicken run down. He'd gone back into he'd gone back into town
hedges,
somewhere.
yeah.
He was back in the hedges, and I was just looking at this guy over my shoulder, and waited until I got to the corner of the hedge, and I just started sprinting. He, of course, was doing exactly the same thing I was doing. He was waiting until I left, and then he started sprinting down the other side of the hedgerow. And at the end, it was it was probably 20 meters or something like that. At the end of the hedgerow, we ran into each other, literally, kablam! Like right on the.
Wait, he
right
was
on
he was trying to catch a chicken off.
I'm watching him.
Right.
Nobody's moving. It's like an old Clint Eastwood movie.
Right.
Alright, I'm getting around. I'm gonna get around the corner.
It's like to catch the
Chicken also, yeah.
Yeah, he also decided to try to catch
He
it.
wanted the chicken too.
He's playing cool. And we just like ran straight into each other, like knocked each other. Oh Christ! And everyone's head was ringing. It was really, it was literally,
Yeah, exactly.
it was literally out of like a Keystone Cop movie.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting there, and he just looks at me. He's like, "Yo, that is your chicken, goddammit!" I was like, "You know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. You win." Anyway, it was supposed to be a joke. It was supposed to be fun. Do you want the chicken? And he's like, "Hell yeah, I love chickens." And then we got up. We had a good time for the next, 10, 15 minutes, like kind of chasing down the chicken. Anyway, it was punchline sort of in the end after we caught it. Oh, it was pretty funny because the neighbors were none too impressed with either of us. It was like jumping at chicken, grabbing chicken, feathers were flying everywhere, and
So the two of you working together
No.
did
finally
catch the chicken.
we finally got the chicken, and I was happy to be rid of this chicken. He was happy to have the chicken.
Good.
And his punchline in the end was like, "Wow, I can't wait till my wife comes home. She'll be happy to see there's a real cock in the house."
Boom.
It's perfect.
So you relinquished it. You gave him up.
Certainly. There's also a denouement to the story, which was that. Now he had sort of during our chasing had explained that he had lived in Jersey before and used to have a chicken coop, so he's very happy to have chickens back in his life. And then I guess eventually he moved back to Jersey. This is what I heard. This is what I don't know if it's true. He moved back to Jersey, but I am happy to report that apparently the drug dealers were none too pleased with having that chicken live next door to them, nor were they happy with the rest of the chickens that were brought in.
Oh, so this guy that took the chicken was right next door to the drug house?
Oh yeah, he was right.
Oh,
next door.
so like they now had a chicken living next door to them.
Yeah, basically, they internally.
I love chickens.
Not just a chicken, a cock.
Yeah, exactly.
And he bought more.
And then he got more. So it's really like a chicken, like a.
I just that was so funny. It was that, just imagine a drug dealer sitting there, 5 a.m. in the morning.
We had a chicken by in the
Yeah, we had a chicken in the old house.
the
Yeah.
old house.
That showed up, right?
So what happened to your friend? Like he bought his drugs, and that story went on happily.
He just got rid of him.
Right.
Oh, God knows what happened to JC.
Oh, okay, right. The other denouement is we don't know what happened to JC, right?
He's ready for concert now.
He never came out of the house.
Never heard from him again.
Came out of the house.
The tea party.
Andrew did his part. He took care of the chicken.
Right.
No,
The
JC.
chicken, we don't know what happened to the JC.
Well, the chicken is apparently living happy in Jersey.
Yeah.
I actually, as a matter of
No,
fact, JC had a heart attack.
There's now an
a year
HBO
later.
Really?
Yeah,
Special.
TV
it's a
show about
drug deal.
chicken.
Right.
What's gonna happen?
Short life expectancy.
Yeah, but I hope JC's
The
alive.
chicken wire.
But
The chicken wire.
Mean streets of
anyway, so that's the chicken story. You're
Very good.
satisfied?
Yeah, Sam. Now you've heard it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Do you understand now why?
It's a real
we,
life story too.
About 4 years ago, I heard just a little snippet of this, actually, from Amanda Miller. She's like, have you heard about Andrew?
This is
This
the
a
type of-
crazy story about a chicken.
When did
Like,
this happen, Andrew? How many
Oh
years
Christ, I don't know. Would have been 2004, I guess.
yeah. Are you recording all this?
ago? I'm not a witness.
Is this going?